Will be the end of our country.
There. This is Paulino B. Michael of the Flat Out Truth. That was a weird thing on my phone. But anyway, we have a special guest today. And as always, we're starting to stream on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, and the Flat Out Truth all at one time. Somehow, YouTube and TikTok is not letting us do our live chat. So sorry, guys. So it might come back alive when we're doing that. I know. We'll see what's going on. I think it's them. It's not us. So anyway, without further ado, let me introduce my lovely wife and co-host, Chelsey B. Michael.
Hi. I'm ready to go now. I know I'm still trying to figure out what's going on with the streams, but I think we'll be all right. So I think it'll be all right.
I'm trying to find us on TikTok. Then I can see if I can do something.
Oh, there we go. All right. I just refreshed it.
It's starting to work.
YouTube's good to go.
All right, sweet.
TikTok, I don't know what their problem is.
All right. So anyway, we have a special guest today, Dr. Charles, Ph.D. He's a great guy. We've known him now for over a year. Met him in a weird way. Bought him some bananas at a grocery store. And we just chatted it up and found out what he does. And he does a lot of great work. So here he is, Dr. Charles.
Hi, guys.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, like how things started, where you want to start from?
Okay, very good. So yeah, we were talking earlier, and just kind of give you a little introduction. I've got my Bachelor of Business Administration degree from Grand Valley State University, and I was in business for a couple of years and all that. And then I got a calling into the ministry. And that was, I found the Lord in 1984, and I got a calling in the ministry probably soon after that. And then I went to get my Master's of Divinity from the Methodist Theological School in Delaware, Ohio, near Columbus. And then I went on to get my PhD from Cornerstone University in Lake Charles, Louisiana, and in association with the National Christian Counselors Association. So, and I've been, and I was a pastor for 7 years, and then I was a pastoral Christian counselor. I got my PhD in that, and I was pastoral Christian counselor for over 30 years and stuff. So just helping families, marriages, and individuals. So
Yeah, that's great. I mean, like I said, you're a stand-up guy, and I didn't know who I was buying bananas for at the time, and it all worked out.
charity.
It was, yeah, it was a crazy time. I had to buy bananas. My son loves bananas, so that's why I was there.
Yeah,
it's just funny that that's how it all worked out. So
my son loves bananas too. So.
So there are some certain things you wanted to talk about. I mean, I know you have your counseling and you basically help people out. You're like a life coach in a way, right?
Yeah. I actually I'm been more of a life coach all my counseling ministry and all that. And what that means is, counseling is a lot of just listening and hearing people and kind of like helping them walk through their problems or situations and stuff. Whereas coaching does that, listens and hears, but then gives feedback on advice, sets goals, encourages, and tells them to get out there and go for their goals. And I've been counseling for 30 years, and I'm kind of like slowing down on that. I just do a little bit of that, and I've been writing a series of 3 books for over 20 years and stuff. And it's a series of books, and half the books are scripture and the other half is what the Lord inspired me to help people. And the first book is called Belief System Overhaul. The second book is called Individual Reconstruction. And the third book is called Relationship Rebuilding, kind of like a whole construction motif in there or whatever. And it's just all the things I've used, and the Holy Spirit's inspired me. And then I've researched and psychology and things like that, over 30 years of counseling and programs that really work. So, so I've got 2 books completed, and I'm over halfway through on my 3rd book, and then I'm going to launch them to get published, and then hopefully do some seminars to help people, with all the teachings in my book. So
Yeah, writing books is interesting, especially when you're trying to cover something specific, because you might learn more as you're writing, and life gets busy. But it's harder than you think to write a book. It just is. Like I did graphic novels, and you might find some new data or something you want to change or tweak, and then you go back in there. Oh, I can't leave this out. And before you know it, becomes 3 books. You might start out with 1 book. Yeah, it just does that. It just spreads.
Started out with 1 book, and
See, I told you. Yeah,
branched out to 3. And then here's a cool God thing, is that when I've checked out some publishers and finding out about a little bit about it, they said publishers will not even look at you unless you have 3 books. And so I've got 3 books. I'm like, so hopefully they'll look at me.
Yeah. So it's a work in progress, but you're saying that you're pretty close now, right?
Yeah. And I've been in the school of the Holy Spirit. And it's a really cool experience because writing for such a long period of time, like I'm writing in one book and it'll touch a teaching that is carried through in the other books. And then so like I'll go back and tweak and fix them up. So even through this last book, I'm still going back to the other books and improving them, making them better and stuff. And so my mind can like go through these books. 3 books at one time is really cool. So yeah, complicated.
Yeah, because it probably just spread into like, say you wanted to cover, one topic that had like 5 parts, and before you know it, those parts grow. Then you got to divide it, and then divide it, and before you know it, each part is almost its own book now, or half a book.
Right.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Right.
It does work like that. It really does. We know a lot of people that write books, and like Zen Garcia will do that. He'll be like, "Man, I'm writing this book, and it's about extra biblical text," and he'll be writing, and all of a sudden he goes, "Man, it's like 400 now. It's 600." He goes, "Now I'm gonna have to make 2 books because nobody wants to read 600-700 pages," and so yeah, that's what ends up happening. So
exactly, and because my big book is over 600 pages. And so the Holy Spirit has had me break it into 3 books. And so that book's a series of 3, and the other books are around 300 pages. So that'll be fine. So hi, Chelsey.
she's actually working on something right now.
Yeah, well, she's rocking it, man.
Yeah,
we'd be lost without Chelsey. She rocks.
Yeah, she does. Yeah, TikTok's giving her an issue, and she's trying to fix it.
Okay, yeah.
But we're good. Everything else is running good.
Yeah. But yeah, and it's really cool that when you finish a book and stuff, it's such a milestone, and you're just so proud of it, that oh my gosh, you think about it all these years, and then you do it and you battle through it. Like my older son Jonathan said, he's talked to some publishers too, and a lot of them said it wasn't until the 9th time of rewriting the book until they were happy with the book. And I'm like, 9 times. I don't want to rewrite the book 9 times. And I've done that. I've rewritten it, and got it better and better and better. And it's true. So, yeah, it's quite a process.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I said, I've done that before. Like with my graphic novel, I mean, I did a thing called the Navic Bible. It's called Navic. And so I made a whole Bible, which tells you how the universe works. And then I had the Chronicles, the Navic Chronicles, which tells you the breakdown of the theory and basically the outline of the story. And then I had 87 main characters, and I had 17 titles.
Wow.
Yeah. So I have a multi-personality disorder in my head. Like I know all my characters. I know like their favorite color, their favorite food, when they were born, like everything. It's really interesting how that all works out. But
yeah. Well, I had a grandma say one time that, this is a great thing to pass along in counseling. She said, honey, we all have problems. We're all working on something. And, when you have that view of life that, people a lot of times think that some people are healthy, some people are unhealthy, some people don't have mental illness, some people battle with mental illness or whatever. But in reality, we all are working on something, and it's all the humbling experience of life.
Yeah. I mean, that's how life goes. I mean, we grow and change. And if you're not pursuing and growing in knowledge and trying to seek more things out, what are you doing? You should always be trying to learn. And I mean, you should never stop doing that. I think when you stop, it's like money. When money stops, it dies. You ever heard that? You got to keep moving. You got to keep money moving, right? It's got to be circulating. Yeah. Like you invest. I mean, that's a side thing. I mean, I don't want to get too off topic, but you invest. So you know how that is. You got to keep the money moving. Yeah. Yep.
Exactly. Well, and then Einstein, supposedly the smartest man who's ever lived, beyond Jesus. they always asked him, what is the greatest thing that you've ever learned? And he said, how much I don't know. And I'm like, that's the best thing to think about. That doesn't matter how smart you are. I've got 3 degrees and all that. But me, every day is a search for knowledge, a search for learning. I learn something, big, medium, and little every day, and that's a, you got to keep going in life and keep open to learning. So, yeah.
Yeah. And I believe one of the biggest things you got to do is this: when you learn something new, if it changes your outlook, change. Don't be prideful and be like, no, this is what, no, if you learn new information, you change, you adapt, you grow, right? That's what growing is. Like a seed, like a plant, it doesn't start as a plant, it's a seed. And then it grows because it's changing, and then it goes, and then there's fruit. And then, so like change is good, people. If it's for the positive, obviously. You don't want to change for the bad.
And, so what is that saying? The only thing that is constant in life is death and taxes, but I would say and change. Death, taxes, and change. That's constant.
Right. Yeah, because it's really strange. It's like you talk about the fourth dimension. That's really it's time, right? And what is it? Time over change over time. So
yeah.
Yeah, that's another constant. Nothing remains the same.
Right. And the thing I like about the faith world is and I'm on the edge, the fringe of exploration, kind of like Star Trek or something. And me, I'm not satisfied with the denominationalism and the box of denominationalism. I've heard some great sermons of that, the kingdom of God dimension exists around our dimension. And as you're praying and praising God and worshiping and singing and speaking in tongues and all that, you're actually like being able to glimpse and see and even reach into another dimension, and the spiritual dimension. And that's why, like, when people don't have God, it's so sad because they don't have that,
Yeah, a lot of that is a different perception for everybody. Like you can even think like dreams is a different dimension, right? It's like a different part of your mind.
Yeah.
And what can be a dimension? It can be a different set of thought. So, for sure. And I think knowledge gained on any topic is a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
You don't want to be ignorant in something. Oh, there was that saying. Did I send it to you? I think I did send it to him. And I know I told Chelsey about it. It was a lyric from a song that Stevie Wonder did. Chelsey, do you remember what it was? The lyrics?
Of course not.
Oh yeah, baby brain. What am I saying?
I know. I was like, well, also we talk about so much that
we really do.
Like it'll change one thing to another, and then like
here it is.
Later.
I got it.
Oh yeah, go.
When you believe in things you don't understand,
superstition.
Then you suffer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, I cut you off. Say it again.
When you believe in things you don't understand, then you suffer. Because there's so many people that believe and they'll spout it. And it could be because a doctor said something, a preacher said something, a professor said something, their boss said something, but they don't understand it. So they're just parodying it without actually understanding it for themselves. Because a lot of things, if you challenge that, you might find out that they're wrong.
Right.
And people don't do that.
Even in my counseling as a doctor of counseling, I'm always telling my clients, I'm like, everything I tell you, go home, pray about it. If the Lord gives you a green light, do it. If he doesn't, don't do it. Meaning I'm just a human being, that doesn't matter education or whatever. you got to follow what the Lord is guiding you to. And talking about Stevie Wonder, when I was in Ohio State University hospitals, I got a certification of a chaplain certification, and pastoral care, it's called. And they made us go into a lot of different situations in the hospital. And one was to gowned up completely covered and go into open surgery and all that. And
Wow.
And I went into open surgery, and we're all ministers, we're not surgeons. So we were all like holding on to each other like little girls, just like, oh my God, what's going on? And we go in, and there was a woman laying on the table, and she was open from her top of her neck to the, to her waist and all that, fully open with these clamps that pulled her completely open. You could see right into her body.
Wow.
And all that. And at the same time, they had the radio on, and Stevie Wonder was singing, "Isn't she lovely?
Wow.
Wonderful." My
Wow.
friend and I looked at each other and said, "What a song for this."
Wow. If anybody watches Seinfeld, there was nobody with Mentos, was there? There's a Seinfeld episode where that's happening to a guy's in surgery, and there Kramer flips a Mentos out, and it falls inside the guy. And he actually gets remedied from it, and then they're like, we don't know what it was. It was some kind of miracle, and Jerry and Kramer look at each other because it was the Mentos that made that guy better.
Yeah.
Little Mentos and Coca-Cola and boom, it explodes. Right?
Yeah, the mints, they were, yeah.
It was funny.
It's good for you.
Yeah, it's mint.
Yeah, right. And who doesn't love a Mentos? I mean,
I do like them. Chelsey probably doesn't. She don't like mint.
I don't like, most of them are peppermint. Wintergreen and spearmint I can handle more,
wintergreen.
but it is winter. See,
Yes.
wintergreen I can handle.
Yeah.
Man, peppermint. Ugh. Everybody's like candy canes during holiday season. I'm like, no thanks.
well, I know now they all have all these different kind of candy canes, cherry, all this other stuff now too.
Yeah. I like wintergreen. Wintergreen's my favorite, but I like all mint. Chelsey doesn't like mint, and we're like the mint. Like, aren't we the mint capital in Michigan? Right?
Oh yeah, they
St.
have
John's.
a festival every year.
Yeah, St. John's, Michigan.
St. John.
Shout out St. John's for the mint.
Yeah,
Yep.
right.
We got mint
Exactly.
and cars.
Yeah, and
We used to have cars.
I'm a Tic Tac man, and I'm a wintergreen Tic Tac. So
I like the orange ones.
It's funny
I
because
do too.
Dustin
I
said
do too.
double mint gum.
Yeah. And the
Yeah.
funny thing about peppermint is I used to they wouldn't have wintergreen, so I got white peppermint. And then whenever I have like nephews or nieces or little kids or something, and they want one, the peppermints would burn their tongue because they're little and they couldn't handle it. They'd spit them out. Peppermint was too strong.
That's funny.
Our son likes them though.
So you gave us some
Peppermint ones?
you gave us some backgrounds, and Chelsey, what do you think about? You got any questions on that?
His background, not so much, because I know you are moving into, we quoted it as motivational speaking, but some seminars, because you're moving away from the counseling, but you've been, like you said, writing your book, so you can talk some more what your book's about and what your seminars are going to be about.
Okay, yeah. So let me, I forgot one thing. Am I allowed to run and get something?
No, sure you can. Go ahead.
Yeah, go grab it.
Okay. Yeah, let us talk about amongst ourselves. Well, sorry, TikTok people. I might as well just get into that. This is Talking Shop.
Yeah.
This is the funny thing. We have our studio cameras that we use that you guys see now.
Yep.
And then we have two regular cameras that are made for, like, if somebody Zooms me or something on a personal. Chelsey has one. I have one. Mm-hmm. We have the same one, and they're horrible.
Yes.
So no shout out to that company. They're very bad.
They're very bad.
So we just got two. We were saying we should replace them because I was on a couple Zooms and it would get out.
Yep.
And then I had to unplug it, plug it back in, and it would come back on. And we're like, man, we should just use our sweet studio ones. And we're like, no. And then you have to add up all the stuff and all the in-betweens. And and OBS, things like that. I don't know if you guys know what we're talking about. That's how you get all these nice, cool looking effects. But
Too
anyway,
technical.
yeah.
Speaking
So
from experience.
yeah, and so we get these two. I got one.
Easy plug and play.
We got them from Amazon, and I hate to say it, they both came. We bought two, and they both came like they were already opened.
Yep.
Anybody ever have Amazon that happens? I'm sorry. We like Amazon. Sometimes, I mean, that's the first time it's ever happened to us, but it was both of them.
Yeah, both of them. The box was opened.
And so we got them. We got one new one today, and we didn't hook it up.
Nope.
And that's what Chelsey's TikTok has to. It has to recognize her camera.
Yep.
And that bad camera will not recognize it. She was unplugging it, putting it in. She was not happy.
That's why he saw me for it was just our channel. Everybody, or our platform. Everybody else, they still saw the cool stuff, but our platform's like, what is this? Why do I see Chelsey's face? Yeah, because cameras.
Yeah.
So fun stuff. Yeah, it is actually really fun, the technical aspects that you see. Like, you don't, like, all the shows that you watch, like everybody, Joe Rogan, things like that, and it runs so smooth, and there's so much technical work that goes into it.
Yeah, there's probably people on Joe Rogan just running around all crazy.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Or about like with
See, that's why they set up their cameras exactly where they need to be, and everybody sits in that spot.
Yeah.
It is way harder to get somebody else off camera.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And like Skiba News Nation, right?
Yeah.
Poor Opa.
Oh, yeah.
Who knows what he's hacking out
I
over
know.
there. But he does a good job.
He does a great job. Yeah, but that's
Shout
why
out
they
to
always
Skiba.
show Jeremiah and
Yeah. Shout out to them.
yeah.
All right, so it looks like Charles is back, so we can get back to see what
He
he's
is
got.
indeed.
I have a little outline of everything,
Yeah.
and I couldn't get it. I couldn't get it fast enough. So, but I had everything else all put together about something else I wanted to talk about. But so the books, just like it from the top of my head, the first book is called Belief System Overhaul, and that is a book that has the Lord inspired me to write the 7 spiritual laws, the science of positioning, and the rights of the faithful. And so, whereas God gave me these 7 spiritual laws, which are in the Bible, and all that, and when you learn about those things, you know, it will open your life up, open your mind up, open your spirit up, and you will have like drastic changes, kind of like one of the things I was going to talk about today. You know, that you know, the Bible, there's what is like I call the secret truths of God's kingdom and word. And so many people don't know about it. So many denominations don't know about it. And it's just all stuff right out of the Bible. And that's what I was amazed at, is because I went to church since 84. And nobody ever taught this stuff. And then I went to kind of a charismatic churches and things like that. And they were like opening up these doors that I've never heard before and all that, which inspired me to do my own writings and do my own books and stuff like that too. And I think that book is the most important. It's almost like if you read my book, which is broken into 3 books now, on Belief System Overhaul, you will discover the secret truths of God's kingdom and word, and things that really, really work. And I call it the science of positioning, because, you know, it's 7 spiritual laws, and if you do them, the spiritual laws, it positions you to, you know, give and receive from God, give and receive into the spiritual dimension, and receive from the spiritual dimension. I mean, God is so cool, but I don't know why not many, you know, majority of churches don't teach this stuff, you know, and it's like, that's why the Lord had me write the books and stuff. So the second book is called Individual Reconstruction, and that's kind of what I'm working on right now, my last rewrite. And that is basically the 3 the 3 steps for healing. I call them conquer, overcomer, victor steps. To be a conqueror, an overcomer, and a victor in life, and to get through the hard steps, of going through grief and healing and stuff. So, I'm actually going through that right now in my life, and so it's kind of cool that I'm rewriting that book and I'm getting help from it at the same time.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, and then the 3rd book is relationship rebuilding, and that is the top 10 basic human needs that all humans have, and that once I teach couples about those top 10 basic needs and they start fulfilling the needs and all that, the marriage recovers, the marriage heals, the marriage is restored and stuff like that. And then the key is, once you learn the top 10 basic human needs that we all have, you learn it and you keep doing it until your last breath. And then you keep your marriage on track, you keep your family on track. So, yep.
Yeah, that's good. See, I like that. Sounds good to me. We need to focus more on marriage and a covenant, right? Regardless on what your faith is, I think the marriage needs to be in that and not in the government. So like if you're going through things, you should be able to go to your leader or your own faith instead of running straight to an attorney.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and see, my whole thing is, if you've had all these years invested in stuff, I always tell my clients, it's like someday you're going to stand before God and he's going to say, did you give it all you got before you threw in the towel?
Yeah.
And that's what I always told my couples, did you give it all you got? And then when I get people to get on board with that, that's when miracles start happening, and like the impossible situations become possible, because what is impossible for man is possible for God, what the scriptures say, and all that. But yeah, and every single marriage I've saved, it's like there's been a miracle that Jesus performed to save the miracle, that they're amazed and I'm amazed, and it's so cool. And but I, and that's one of the things I teach in my books is I just want faith to be simple. And it's like I'm always teach everybody that there's 5 miracles, and if it's happening in your life, miracles are happening in your life every day. There's love, hope, faith, peace, and joy. If you run into those 5 areas in your life, those are miracles of God, because there's a lot of people who don't have those in their life, and you just be grateful when you have those in your life. Those are miracles, because there's so many people who don't have those things and they're miserable and struggling in life.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, like you said, peace. I think peace is a miracle nowadays.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
Peace.
yeah.
Yeah. Peace in a marriage. I mean,
Yeah.
That's really all men really want is just peace, right? I think everybody wants peace, but that's one of the main things. Like women like security, men like peace. Mm-hmm. Like nobody wants to be here and bickering, and if you can't stay in the same room with each other, there's an issue. If you don't want to hang out with your significant other, there's probably an issue. They should be your best friend. It's like hanging out with your best friend all the time. We spend nothing but tons of time together, Chelsey and I, and
we can't get rid of each other.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I mean, I go golfing, and that's my alone time to myself, my thoughts, and I always come up with some good ideas. And I actually always meet people. I'm always talking to somebody, but
yeah.
But I like
always,
that, and Chelsey's
always got a new story.
And Chelsea's kind of like locked down, being pregnant and all, so
I can't do anything.
Yeah, she can't do anything yet. So she's like, go out and go golf and stuff like that. So
yeah.
Well, and one of the top 10 basic human needs is to you know, be number one polite praising treatment. You should have a number one polite praising treatment in your marriage. That if you guys don't feel like you're number one, you got to get to the bottom of it, because you are number one. The husband's number one, the wife's number one. And when you're not, stand up for yourself, talk about it, all that kind of stuff. And then obviously politeness. We need to be polite. You know, a lot of couples bite their heads off each other, and I tell people, you know, you can be polite while you're trying to figure it out and all that. And the thing that puts them back on track is praising and just saying, you know, hey, I love you for this, I love you for that. You're the best at this, you're the best at that, you know. So make sure they're number one, politeness, praising each other. It's like that's one of the basic human needs that we have. And when we feel that, you know, you're just safeguarding your marriage, and that's so important. So
I actually saw a video about a woman that said her husband had done something for her, and she realized that she hadn't thanked him for it. And she's like, you know what? I'm not going to. Like, he just should be doing it, so I'm not going to thank him. And I agree with you there, is you can't do that. It's like, even if it's something little, if you appreciate what they're doing. And for women, a lot of times with the kids especially, they put those kids first, and then they end up neglecting their husband. So then when their kids are running off to college, or they're going off on their own to become their own adults, they're like, well, what do I do now? And you spent so much time with your kids and not with your husband. Now they're like, well, I don't know who I am anymore. And they feel lonely, but you've had your partner there the whole time.
Yeah. And
exactly,
I think,
Chelsey, go ahead, Paulino.
Yeah, because like another thing, like some things that you're saying, see, I take it, see, everybody's going to take it in a different way. What I'm seeing from that is when you're saying that like they're number one, and the praise and all that, I see it as too, is like fulfill roles, right? Men have certain roles, women have certain roles. And when they cater and take to those and fulfill them, man, it goes smooth. Right. It really does. It does. It goes really smooth. And yeah, that's listening. So go ahead.
Right. Well, and if you want to shorten it, just number one. It's like Paulino is number one, Chelsey's number one.
Of course, I'm number one.
Right. And when you don't feel it, just say something, you know, and because there's our emotions, and I call them fleeting, fickle feelings, that they're, you know, you can't base your marriage and your life on your emotions. You get really big trouble. So when you don't feel number one, say it, and you can, you know, talk to each other and say, hey, I love you, can't live without you, this, that, or the other thing. Say beautiful things, and then all of a sudden the fleeting, fickle feelings are gone, and then you feel loved again. So yeah, just say something and keep that love alive and stuff. So yeah.
How do you like this? You know, like I tell Chelsey that she makes my life easier, and that's peaceful. See, like I could learn all this IT stuff and do all that. She knows I could. Am I correct?
Oh yeah.
But I don't want to. I got other things I have to do for this whole setup. Right. So she makes my life easier.
I always call him the talent too. I know you're going to disagree with this, Charles, but anybody can learn technology. Like you can go watch a video, there's documentation, there's things that you don't need to be necessarily good at it. You can figure something out. But what he does, like the creative talent, like we mentioned our merchandise and things like that, to come up with a really good design, to make it look fantastic, or to come up with topics, to come up with things to talk about, or even the way the conversations go. Like I mentioned him earlier, but it's like there's an art to conversation, and you can't learn it. Not really. It's like a lot of people, it's just a natural born talent in there, and he's one of those people that's just good at it. He can get a 2-hour conversation at anybody.
Yes.
Right. Well, that's cool. So but yeah, so, and I do agree that anybody can learn technology. You just have to get on board with it. And my problem is I'm not on board with it. I'm just like, it's like I've got my gifts, and
there you go.
When I launch into seminars and all that, one of the first things I'm going to do is go hire a tech person like you to help me, because I'm just like going through, feeling my way through like a knucklehead in that
that's so
area.
funny.
But I'm good with my area, but I just need someone else's area in that area.
See, that's what I'm saying. You
But
could,
that's smart.
yeah, because see, smart. Actually, did you know real intelligent people know when they need help?
That's true.
Amen. Yeah.
And they do. It's the people that think they know and then kind of like bust through it and it doesn't work out well. And yeah, that's a sign of intelligence. And I mean, and then the hours that you would take to learn that, time is money. You could be doing something else. You could be making a fourth book. Who knows why this guy is doing the tech part? See, or you can make your seminars better. You can, the information that you want to work on, you can focus on that and not what button do I click?
Right. And like, I've even had dreams of, you've got all the great backdrop and your art and all that stuff that you've done. But I said, like, when I do seminars, if I could get a tech person, I would love a giant screen behind me when I'm speaking that would have like really cool pictures of, mountains and waterfalls and, maybe little toddlers running into a swimming pool to make everybody laugh or something like that.
Oh, that's easy.
Yeah. Or the 9 to 5 women behind you.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'm sorry. I had to take him out for the flyer. I'm sorry. I had to take him out for the flyer. I don't know if you noticed.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, it's amazing. That movie went to number 1 or something like that. It's hilarious. So,
yeah, it was actually pretty good. But anyway, I'm sorry I had to take your girls out of the photo.
You're gonna have to give everybody a background. They don't understand.
Yeah. So when I made the flyer,
I'm sure they wouldn't give me time of day. And Dolly's worth like $500 million or something.
Yeah. So when I made the flyer for the show,
but she's grieving. So
I made the flyer for the show, and he sends me all these pictures, right, to use.
Yep.
And one was him in a coffin. I had him with him. He is funny. You got to, if you got
The pictures
to know
were
him.
really funny.
Yeah. And then he had the one in the chair, but it had like the 9 to 5 women, Dolly Parton, and what was her name, Lily Thompson, and Jane Fonda.
Jane Fonda,
Yeah, but I had to remove them so that it looked better. I thought, in my mind, I almost left them. I'm not going to lie. I almost left them. I thought it would be funny. But then people were like, oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He's got these 3 women, like, from 9. So that's the only reason I took him out, Charles. Otherwise, I was going to leave it.
It made me look dignified in that chair. I'm like, oh, that looks pretty good. So
I was almost going to leave it. I'm not joking.
little did they know it, I had these 2 crazy women behind me and all that. But you never know. You could have gotten in trouble that you had to pay, money to rebroadcast that or something.
Well, that's true. Yeah. Copyright. Yeah. So anyway, it looks like we're done on here, right?
Yeah.
And don't forget, don't go nowhere, Charles. And if you guys want to continue to see Charles, just go to theflatouttruth.com and join there, and then join our live, and we will be there for the next hour or so until Charles runs out of breath. And so that's where we'll be. And thank you for joining us. Sorry, TikTok. We're going to get the camera thing fixed for next Tuesday.
Yep.
Or do we have a Monday show?
They're very. Oh.
We might
no. It's just on our platform.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Sorry, guys. If you want the Monday show, you got to go.
Yeah, gotta come here. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, sorry, TikTok, but thank you, YouTube, Rumble, Facebook, and of course the Flat Out Truth platform. And as always, this was for educational purposes only, right? Satire here and there.
Yeah.
And again, stay tuned and continue on theflatouttruth.com. And I am Paulino B. Michael.
I'm Chelsey B. Michael.
And as always, be safe.
Be blessed.
And that's the flat out truth. So, chart. Oh, can I talk?